Today, we're talking about how to quickly get started with your solid sales funnel. Not just how the big companies do it. I'm going to give you specific steps you can take so that your customers will spot your business. And it all starts with a nibble. Coming up on this episode of Thinkin' Rich with Amy Robles. You're a smart, ambitious woman. You have so many depending on you to keep life running on schedule and get the important things done. But you've wondered if you could have your own thing, a business that gives you a new creative outlet, is profitable, and will not overtake your family. I'm Amy Robles, your guide in this process to create the business you love, keep your family first, and shine. Because you can enrich your life and your bottom line. Welcome to Thinkin' Rich. Hey, welcome back. It's me, Amy. I'm delighted to have you here. You might have noticed we've got a new intro. We've got new things going on. It's just been very exciting putting all of these pieces and components together that I've been working on for months. All of this for you. This is the first session, the first part of the series where we're talking all about sales funnels. And I did months of research, learning the old school terms, figuring it out. We're going to talk old school, new school. And I got to tell you, there are way too many terms out there, not enough specific tactics, not enough specific steps that you can take. And so that's what I really want to jump into on this episode. What are the specific things you can do right now in your business, not add another 2 hours worth of work because you've got too many things going on. You've got people depending on you. You've got to be other places. I get that. I completely understand. So let's maximize our time, use our steps wisely. It all starts with a nibble. Now, sales funnel is just a fancy term of, you've all seen in science, sometimes you'll have the mazes that the scientists create, and then the little mouse has to run through and find the cheese at the end, and it's somewhere in there and they can smell it and they keep running around. Or you've been in the corn maze, autumn season, and you go through and you try to find your way out. That is what's happening with a sales funnel. And why they called it a sales funnel, I don't know. Ridiculous term. But that's what it's called. You are leading your customers on the journey. And in this world, we are bombarded with noise. And it doesn't help if you give somebody a full feast. We're in an appetizer education world right now. You got to give them a nibble. Your customers are way too busy with all those incoming messages. A little bit is all they need. Think about Costco runs on the Saturday afternoons. There is a sample station nearly at every end of the aisle. Does it smell good? Ooh, please have a nibble. Oh, you like that? This is located around the corner and they're on sale today for you. That's just how it works. And it starts when customers can spot you. Now, here's how the big companies do this. The big companies are paying millions of dollars so you can spot them. So here's just a few examples that just came to my mind. Movie and television sets are paid by companies to have their products on camera. Now, sometimes it's not specifically of that product, but you have a kitchen scene and you've got 4 different types of cereals just up there above the fridge. Nobody's really noticing. They're just on screen. They are paid to be spotted in that set. That's another income stream for the industry, the movie and television producers, and another way that companies are paying just so it looks like normal part of everyday life. Also, companies are sponsoring teams, organizations in the community. You see the banners way out on the field during high school football games, or you go to the watch the team play basketball, the local community, and along the hallway around the basketball court are all these different banners of communities that support and have given their contribution. It's just a way that their logo is being seen in all of these different communities. Remember a while ago, you would see Britney Spears holding a can of Pepsi. I don't think I ever saw her drink it. But at these award shows, everywhere, she had that just holding a can of Pepsi. I kept thinking, that one's weird because there's no real connection there. She just has a can of Pepsi in her hand, so she kind of walks funny. I don't know if that one was productive. Or you can go to any town in the world, and if they have billboards, if the city's big enough, you will see at least one billboard with Coca-Cola on it. I heard once that the goal of Coke is no matter where a person is on the planet, if they get off a plane, they take a few steps off the plane and they can buy a Coke. If they get off a bus, if they get off a train, any city in any part of the world, you can find a Coke that quickly. Just so you see it, and it's called brand awareness. It's just a way that you can be spotted. And then I was thinking about Times Square in New York, and you've just got this running, flashing lights everywhere. It's so bright, you can't see anything. And part of me was thinking, that's not how it is anymore. Now, when you go to your YouTube site and you just want to watch a video, they have that mandatory 5-second ad. Companies are paying to have their ad and producing a 3-minute commercial at times that they know you won't watch. They just want those first 5 seconds where you have to see it so that they are spotted. Even those services with streaming videos, I'm thinking of Hulu, you pay for the service to have commercial-free interruption or limited commercial interruption, and the companies are paying so you have to watch the commercials, the mandatory commercial, to continue on with the show. This is how big companies are doing that. But you, smart, ambitious woman, when you think about it, you have your business, you have the opportunity, you love what you're sharing with the world. You are already in sales. And the truth is, you're really good at it. We make sales way too complicated. You've already are the salesperson. You might not have even realized it. Part of my work that I really love is I'm on a mission to help smart, ambitious women make sales simple and a natural part of daily life. Because sales is just convincing someone to act. So think about your regular, everyday life. You are in sales when you remind your child to make their bed so they can get to school on time, or when you're working and reminding the family to get out of the door on time so they are not late again, or when you help a coworker pass that tricky certification with study notes and practice session so she can get a raise and you do well as your supervisor role and you both can advance forward. You are in sales when you give someone a reason why they should volunteer to join the organization, plan the company picnic, or do something extra so they can put it on their resume. You're even in sales when you negotiate the purchase price of an item so you can save money, but they still get the commission. Being able to get what you want and making it a winning situation for the other person is all about what sales is. You're helping others act in a way that's going to win for both of you. So we'll go into power sales way more down the road, but you just need to recognize that right now, where you are in your everyday life, even if you've never considered it, you're pretty good at sales. And that's important to know. So you start your sales funnel, you're taking your customer through the labyrinth so they can connect with you in this crazy journey of lots of noise in life so they can find you. So the sales funnel is the overall planning strategy. but you implement the tactics. This is why there's so many business guru people that just talk strategy and you got to do this. They're high level looking down at customers going through the labyrinth, but they never talk about specific tactics. That's what's missing. I see a lot of women building their businesses and doing the same thing over and over and over. They're stuck in the labyrinth. There's something missing that's pulling them from finishing and having that success that they're really looking for. And that's what I want to help you with. We're going to build your sales funnel, go through the specific steps so you see the overall strategy, but you have the tactics to implement to make everything work. But let's be real. We need a caveat here. You must know who your customer is. You must know the person that you're looking to draw into your sales funnel. The way I would talk to a woman selling riding lawnmowers is not the same way I would talk to a woman selling a full-size minivan. They're both moving vehicles. But if you're using the wrong words, if you don't know what they're looking for in the product, then that changes things. Also, how old is your customer? What is she looking for to do with this? Is she giving that riding lawnmower as a gift to someone? Or is she so excited because she's always wanted to ride a tractor and this is her time? She's going to take that riding lawnmower time and just cruise the green lawn highway of life. That's the difference. Do you see how the needs are different? I've created an entire worksheet dedicated to helping walk you through this process to go deeper, to know more about your customer, to really find out more. I've got a link in the show notes. If you click on that, it'll take you first to the podcast episode and the worksheet, and you can go through, figure out so you're very specific and you know the person that you're going to sell to. So that's very important to know. So the secret to be able to make this whole sales funnel strategy and all of these tactics is to make it a part of everyday life. And you've got to use what you've got, my friend. A few ideas that come to my mind are, look, if you're a natural encourager and you love cheering people on, find ways to encourage your customer. If you are so funny and you tell stories and people just can't wait to hear your stories because they're hilarious, you've got to find a way to be funny as you're sharing more about your product. And if you're out a lot, if you're always on the go, if you're meeting new people, be that person that represents your product. Okay, you're putting your message, your product, your service out to offer the world. I'm going to give you 7 different steps you can use on social media, 7 different steps you can use in real life. Do not do all of these at once. You'll get overwhelmed. It'll get really crazy, a lot of headache. You know, I've learned different things and gone through and I thought, oh, I'm going to do this and this and this and this and this. And I get started on the steps and I burn out because I'm focusing way too much on this and not too much in the rest of my life. Start with 1 step and do this consistently for a month. After you've got that 1 step really solid, really crisp, then look to adding another. Don't be concerned if it's not enough. 1 step done consistently over time will get people to start to notice. What you're doing here is you're laying the foundation for your powerful, solid sales funnel. Just like those big movie companies pay to have their cereal on top of the fridge, you're just putting these little drops out into the world so people can start to spot you. That's the word you need to remember. Look, I'm putting this out here so people can spot it. I'm putting this somewhere else so people can spot it. Okay? That's what we're working on. So for social media steps, here's the big one. First, make a consistent post. I'm thinking of a graphic. I'm thinking of an image that you love. At a minimum, post twice a week. You could start posting daily. They say on Instagram, you can post 4 to 5 times a day because they're changing the feed and you're not seeing it consistently. For me, that's a little much. I do not have time to make a graphic and post it several times throughout the day. And here's some tips. When you're making the graphic, when you think of your ideal customer and you've gone through the worksheet and you've made that, try to find images that reflect that customer in their life. So I'm working with smart, ambitious women. I'm always going through the stock photos, looking for women who are not in a bikini, who are dressed like they are living regular life and going through business situations, and that they're assertive and that they're accomplishing something. When you put text on a graphic, 10 words or less is ideal for your graphics. I've seen way too many posts that have these really, really amazing quotes, but it's too much. As people are scanning through a feed, if they just see so many words, instead of actually reading it, they'll just scan over it. So I shoot for 10 words or less. I got to tell you, some of the most effective posts I've had have been 3 words or 4 words. So if you have a great quote that you love, you can incorporate that in what you're writing, but on the actual image, you're going to put the 3 or 4 words that really pull in and just connect. Once I started doing this one step, it was amazing how other different influential leaders started following me and started saying, I love what you're doing. I love it. And making it very, very consistent. The fonts are the same, the size is the same, the image is different, and what I'm doing is writing a few different lines in what I post about how that relates to my customer. What she's going through in the day-to-day is something that I have gone through that I can really help and work to guide my customer through the process. So that's the first one. I told you, this one's about practical, tactical steps to move forward and make it successful. Second, if you're funny and you can tell a hilarious story, you've got to tell a funny story in your life. I am so sick of seeing people being very gorgeous and hair perfectly coiffed. The kitchen is spotless in their life on Instagram. And then real life is a train wreck, right? That doesn't even work. You need to talk about the weird situations that we find ourselves in. As smart, ambitious women, we are taking care of multiple aspects of life at the same time. It's just the way that it works. So you can pull the curtain back and tell a little bit about, look, I thought it was going to go this way and it clearly did not. Fortunately, I had my product. Fortunately, I was able to do this, and this is how it turned out. You have the components. You have the recipe already there. You just need to pull the bits and pieces out to make it successful for you. The third step, try showing your pictures in your daily life how your product works. The fourth technique you could try is ask a question. Think of your perfect customer. Think of that person you're connected with. What is something that you can ask? And sometimes we make this way too tough. Halloween is just around the corner. You could ask Reese's peanut butter cups or Snickers. That could be a post. It's starting to get a conversation started. It's about engaging with your audience. And like I told you, this whole step is only about being spotted. So if they see someone asking these questions, all right, for Halloween, do you have chili or tacos? Number 5, share the good news. If your product or someone in your organization or something happened in your industry and it's really good news, share that on your social media. Explain why it's important and what you love about it. Number 6, send congratulations. If someone else has succeeded doing something you are happy for, or they talk about your product, or they appreciate your service, or they have done something you really want to achieve, you have got to post it, send them personal congratulations, and share that with your audience. Because what you're doing is you're just shining light on what's important. And you're telling people, look, this person has succeeded. I love what they're doing. They've been an example to me. Now, people would say, well, yeah, but then you're just taking all your followers to follow them. That's not how it works. I thought that for a long time. You're not doing that. All you're doing is saying, oh, yeah, every time I hear about this company, I think of you. Every time I hear about this product, it reminds me of you. Anytime somebody says anything about this entire industry, it reminds me of you. And that's the difference. When you especially are sharing the good news, you're sending congratulations, you are spending your energy to shine more light. And instead of taking away from you, it actually comes back to you and brings more light to you. I know these 2 steps are pretty interesting, very fun to do. Number 7 is video posts. Now, clearly, any sort of video, some people do live videos, some people talk it through. This can get pretty intense. And I want you to be able to really focus on this. So I put this on the list, but I highly recommend you really invest in that when you have time to make it worthwhile. Okay? So the 7 different steps people can find so your customers can spot you on social media is 1, consistent posts. 2, tell your story, girl. 3, show pictures of your daily life. 4, ask a question. 5, share that good news. 6, send congratulations. And 7, break out the video. So those are the first 7 steps that you can take. So that's what we're going to work on in social media. Again, remember I told you, start with just 1 step, do it consistently for a month, and then add a little more. But I also have included steps to take so your customers spot you like in real life. I'm just saying it like that because there's a lot of times where we think, oh, we'll just put it on social media and that'll be fine. And then we're a totally different person. Just what we don't like about other people, we can do if we're not careful. And so your life just doesn't happen only online. The best way to allow your customers to spot your product is when they spot you. Think of it this way. Number 1, you are your product. Whatever you're selling is a representation of who you are. It's a representation of what you're all about. When your customers choose to buy, they choose you. That's big and that's deep. And once you understand that and you take that and accept that responsibility, it changes everything on how you see yourself, how you present yourself, how you serve your customers, and what you're giving to them. 2, they notice you when they trust you. We're talking all about how to spot your service, all about putting the product out there. You're on social media, they're there. People will start noticing little things that you do, and they'll hear. But once they start to trust you, then they really start to listen. Number 3, make sure you dress like a professional. That does not mean you can never look like you're going to yoga. What it means is you take a couple extra minutes and you put on lipstick and mascara, or you pull your hair back, or you fix it so you look like more professional. It's not about dressing to the nines. It would be really awkward if we went to the school pickup and I was in a full suit. That makes you stand out. There's a difference, and you know the difference. There's a difference between putting on the shirt that's a little bit better, doesn't have a spill on it, and looking more presentable. Make sure you dress like a professional. Step 4, smile with confidence. What does that mean? It's not a pinkie pie in the sky smile that's completely oblivious to the world. You're confident in who you are. You're happy with what you're doing and you love your life. And you can show that in your smile. I've been so amazed how just working on smiling even more makes you so much more confident and more professional. I just finished reading Presence by Amy Cuddy. I believe every businesswoman should listen to that audiobook. I can't believe the information that just really stood out to me. She's the one that has the TED Talk about the Wonder Woman pose. You stand in the Wonder Woman pose. Actually, I'll put that in the show notes so you can see that if you don't have time for the audiobook. Step number 5, listen. Listen at a 3-to-1 ratio. People instinctively trust the listeners. When you listen and you're curious about what other people are saying, they want to tell you more. Number 6, this is a big one. Don't push. Say less about your product or business. Just a casual mention is sometimes more powerful than a full-scale business presentation at the kids' soccer game, right? If somebody's interested, they'll ask you, but don't push it on them. Number 5, share a sample. We talked about this in the beginning. It's all about just a little nibble. You have so much going on, and a little bit of that appetizer education really gets them started on wanting to know more about your product. So all of this, so many different steps on how your customers can spot you in real life. 1, you are your product. 2, they notice you when they trust you. 3, dress like a professional. 4, smile with confidence. 5, listen at a 3-to-1 ratio. 6, don't push. A casual mention is better than a full presentation. And number 7, just give them a nibble. That's all they need. So how do you quickly get started with your sales funnel? You pick one of these steps, you take one of these tactics, and you start moving forward. You do it consistently for 1 month. You can even tag me on social media if that's what you would prefer, so I can help you along in this process. On Instagram and Twitter, you can find me at It's Amy Robles, ITSAMYROBLES. Next week, I'm going to show you how to do even more and get your customers to act. This is important. Look, you have big work to do. You have a lot of people depending on you, and we want your business to be part of your life, but not overtake it. That's the difference. You're doing this to keep your family first. I love showing you how to enrich your life and your bottom line. That's what all of this is about. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.